What's going on, guys? Today we're doing an oil change, and customer wants an inspection, just like brakes and suspension and stuff, and this 2011 Equinox. So I figured I'd go through and show you guys how to do an oil change and check your air filter, things like that. First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna want to jack it up, because unless you're a very, very tiny person, you cannot crawl under these to get to the drain plug. Pop your hood, pull the oil cap. After that, I always like to loosen the filter first. The filter is up here. Pull that dipstick out so you can get to it. Let me grab a flashlight real quick. So these have a top side filter. They're cartridge filters instead of canisters. That is your oil filter right there. So you're going to take 32 millimeter socket. I bought this at, I think, AutoZone for like $8 or something. It's a perfect fit for these filters. Sometimes they can be a little tight. Let me put the camera down for a second. This one is, in fact, very tight. All right, I got it free. Busted my knuckles up a little bit. Whoever did this oil change last time tightened it down too much. And you don't want to do that. One, because next time you do it, you're going to bust your knuckles. But also, this filter housing, this cap right here that you're loosening, that's plastic. The threads are just plastic. So if you overdo it, you'll crack it. And then you got to replace stuff. All right, but I got that loosened. You don't need to loosen it all the way because you don't want oil to come spilling out. And then next thing we're going to do, we're going to go down underneath and we're going to pull that drain plug. All right, now we're under the car. This is your oil pan. That's the motor. That's the transmission. So that is typically always a 15 millimeter. Let's see. Yep. 15. Make sure you have your drain pan out a little bit because it's going to come out quick at first. You don't want to spill anything. Oh, like I just did. Only a little bit though, so that's okay. Clean that up when we're all done. So now we're going to let this drain out completely and then we'll get that plug back in. Once it's drained out, get your plug back in. I like to tighten it as far as I can by hand. Take your ratchet and just snug it. It does not have to be super tight, and this oil pan is aluminum. So if you go too tight, you'll destroy the threads. So just be wary of that. It does not need to be really, really tight. All right, drain plugs in. Now we're gonna go back up top and change that filter. All right, now that we're back up top, we're gonna pull this filter out. When you pull it, try and be quick to get it up and rotate it, just because you can get some oil spillage. So what we're gonna do here, try to prop this up so I can show you. See that green O-ring, that gasket? We're gonna change that, and we're gonna change the filter. The new filter comes with a new gasket. You just take a little pocket screwdriver and pop that out. Lubricate the new one. Just use some oil from the filter or whatever. You'd use your new oil if you want. And rub it on the seal and then put it back onto the housing. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my new filter and go ahead and do that. All right. As you can see, I got my new gasket on there, my new O-ring, and my new filter. Now we're just going to take it, I'm going to put it back in its housing, screw it down by hand as far as you can. And like I said when I was taking this off, it does not need to be super tight. It's just plastic, so you don't want to overdo it or you could crack it. All right, that should be good. And of course, we'll check it after we put oil in it and make sure that it's not leaking, that it is tight enough. All right, now I can get my oil and I can start putting that in. All right, this motor makes it easy. It takes exactly 5 quarts, so you just get a 5-quart jug and dump the whole thing in. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, we got our oil in. Get this funnel out of here. Get the oil cap back on. Get my tools out of the way. The next thing we're gonna do is start the vehicle, reset the oil life monitor. But first I'm gonna go wash my hands before I get into this car. All right, now that my hands are all clean, I can hop into the car. And this is what you're gonna do. This is how you reset your oil life monitor. So you're gonna put the key in. You're gonna turn it all the way forward like so. As soon as you do that, pump the gas pedal 3 times and then start it. And that resets your oil life monitor. Let it run for a second. Let that oil pump oil through the filter and everything. Then you can shut it off. And then all you gotta do is check your oil level. So I'm gonna check my oil level real quick. And then I'm gonna show you how to check the air filter. All right, oil level was good and everything. So now I'm gonna check this air filter. This air filter takes a T25 Torx bit. I believe there's 4 screws. Yep, 4 screws. Yep, there's 4 screws total. And then it will just pop up. Pull this air filter out.